Good morning, good morning. Don't forget to turn on your cameras, guys. Okay, I think we're ready to start with today's class. Can you please, guys, help me with some information? What did we talk about last class? Can you remember? What did we talk about last class?
Adjectives, relevant or not relevant.
Exactly, we were talking or discussing about gradable and non-gradable adjectives. So don't forget that when you use a gradable adjective, such as, for example, cold, and you want to maybe make it a little bit higher, or you want to less the intensity of this adjective, you can use gradable adverbs in order to make it higher or reduce the intensity of this gradable adjective. And of course, when you arrive or when you get to the limit, you're going to use a non-gradable or don't forget that we are going to use them both if you want. I mean, gradable adjectives with gradable adverbs, and in the same way with non-gradable adjectives. Non-gradable adjectives with non-gradable adverbs. Don't forget these words that are going to be very useful. For example, a little bit, a bit, kind of, pretty, very, so, extremely, and so on. And also for non-gradable adjectives or extreme adjectives, we have completely, absolutely, and totally. Just to see if you can remember this, you're going to help me to choose or to match some gradable adjectives with some extreme adjectives, okay? So can you see the screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Help me to match these normal or gradable adjectives with some of the extreme adjectives you're going to see on the screen. Okay, let's start. What do you think is the gradable adjective for this one? What is the gradable adjective of small? What do you think? Can you remember?
Tiny.
Tiny. Perfect, Steffi. Thank you. Tiny. What is the gradable adjective for interesting? What would be the extreme adjective for interesting? Can you help me with this one, Miguel, please?
Fantastic.
Okay, let's see. No. No, no, no. I think it was fascinating. Let's see. What would be the extreme adjective of cold?
Freezing.
Freezing. Thank you, Gabby. Freezing. Extreme adjective of angry.
Furious.
Starving.
Ojo, angry, que sería sin H, es enojado. So,
Furious.
Furious.
furious, exactly. Furious is the right one. Let's move to the next. What would be the extreme adjective for pretty?
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous, exactly. Thank you. Let's move to the next one. Extreme adjective of hot.
Boiling.
Boiling, that's right. Let's see the next. Extreme adjective of good.
Fantastic.
Okay, excellent. Let's move to the next. This is a little bit difficult. Extreme adjective of clean.
Spotless.
Spotless, exactly. What about the scare? What would be the extreme adjective of scare? What do you think? Extreme adjective of scare.
Terrified.
Terrified, exactly. Atemorizado, aterrorizado. Excellent. So, what's the extreme adjective of big?
Huge.
Huge. Huge es algo enorme. Ajá, huge. What about the word old?
Ancient.
Exactly. Thank you. Ancient. And extreme adjective of funny. Cuando algo es extremadamente divertido, what do you think would be?
Hilarious.
Exactly. Hilarious. What about tired?
Exhausted.
Exhausted. Perfect. We are about to end. What would be the extreme adjective for dirty?
Filthy.
Filthy. Very good. Two more, guys. Two more. Extreme of bad.
Awful.
Awful. Perfect. And the extreme adjective now of hungry.
Starving.
Starving. Very good. Cuando tenemos mucha hambre. Sometimes we are starving. Look at this. We have now the second chance. And the extreme of interesting would be fascinating. Fascinating. Thank you, guys. So now you can remember some of the of these extreme adjectives and also some gradable adjectives. Now I want you to help me with the following, guys. Pay attention. You're going to see on your screens some questions. Let me share with you the screen so you can see what I'm talking about.
Teacher,
Yes.
ahorita me escribe una compañera y dice que no se puede conectar porque no tiene luz. A ver si se puede conectar más luego. Todo lo que llegue, por favor.
What's her name?
Cintia Aguilar.
Okay, thank you.
Ya, gracias, teacher.
Okay, let's see, guys. There we go. So here we have some questions, guys. Think about them. Can you help me reading question number 1, please, Melanie? Wake up, guys. Melanie, can you read number 1, please?
Do you enjoy meeting new people?
Thank you. Number 2, Lisette, can you help me with number 2?
Do you usually decide what you think of someone for a first impression, or do you get to know them first?
Exactly. Thank you. So, guys, think about the answer of these 2 questions. Do you enjoy meeting new people? Do you like meeting new people? And number 2, do you usually decide what you think of someone from a first impression? It means when you see a person for the first time, do you decide if you like that person or don't like that person? And or maybe do you get to know them first? It means that probably you're not going to make any judgment at the first time, but you are giving yourself the time to get to know the other person you are meeting for the first time. So think about these questions, guys. Take yourselves 1 minute to think of these answers, and then you're going to ask to your classmates, okay? But first you will have 1 minute to think about the answers of these questions. Don't sleep, guys, because we need to get into groups. You're going to work in groups now that you know the answer. Okay. Think about the answers. Think about the answers. Okay. Now I'm going to send you these questions to your WhatsApp group. I think it's better so everybody can have it. And you're going to work in groups. It means that you're going to ask and answer these 2 questions to your classmates, okay? For this activity, you will have 4 minutes to complete this activity, okay? 4 minutes to complete this one. Just ask to your classmates these 2 questions that you have on your WhatsApp group. And then we're going to be back and share the answers with the whole group, okay? So, can you remember what do we have to do? Michelle, what do we have to do now?
Teacher, ¿me puede repetir la pregunta?
Sure. What do we have to do? What do we have to do now? Can you remember what do you have to do in this moment with those questions?
Responder a las dos preguntas.
You have to ask and answer these questions with your classmates. Saulo, are you going to work individual or in group?
Good morning, teacher. In groups.
Yes, now we're going to work in groups. Thank you, Saulo. And how much time do you have for this activity, Jimmy? Can you remember how much time do we have?
Good morning, teacher. 1 minute.
4 minutes you have for this one.
Okay, for
Work with
in group. Okay.
4 minutes, 4 minutes. Okay. Now I'm going to assign you to the groups. Pay attention. Don't forget that you have the questions in your WhatsApp group, okay? There we go, guys. You can enter to your groups now. Start entering to your groups so you can work. Ask and answer these questions, guys. Don't forget. Enter to your groups, guys. Enter to your groups. You need to ask and answer the questions. Steve, don't forget to. Do you have your answers, guys? Please ask and answer.
Yes, teacher. En eso estábamos. A ver, Jocelyn.
Claro,
Do you
pregunta.
enjoy meeting people?
Yes, I like meeting new people.
Okay. And you, Priscilla Lema?
Friends?
And you, Nicole?
Yes, I like some.
Um, in my opinion, I think know people it's interesting, but I don't like very much.
To meet people first because the appearance can be deceiving. I like that people are sincere with me from the beginning.
Very good, guys.
Tania.
Tanya, are you there?
No se me activaba el micrófono, sorry. Ya. I like meeting new people to have more friends.
And new people because it's very new, porque es muy interesante, creo.
Okay. Do you usually decide what you think of someone from a first impression, or do you get to know them first, Stefano?
Hello, guys. How did it go?
Yes, teacher.
Did you finish?
Yes, teacher. Al comienzo ya hice.
Okay. Hello, guys. Did you end your questions?
Yes, we finished.
Okay. Thank you, guys. How did it go, guys? Good? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I heard that you were having very different opinions about these two questions. So we're going to see if you enjoy meeting new people or not so much. Let me share with you again the questions so everybody can see them. Now I'm going to ask you in a random way. So Jennifer, do you enjoy meeting new people?
Yes, I like meeting new people because it's interesting.
Okay, because it's interesting. Thank you. What about you, Stefano? Do you enjoy meeting new people?
I think that depends on the type of person that you are.
Okay, it depends on the person you are meeting. Good. Priscilla, what do you think about number one?
Well, yes, I do. And I like to know new people, enjoy the conversation, interesting and experience.
Okay, yes. You enjoy meeting new people, maybe talking with new friends, because it can be interesting. Thank you. My dear George, what about you? Do you enjoy meeting new people?
I think is interesting, but I don't like very much.
Okay, you don't like to meet new people so much. That's good and that's understandable. Thank you. What about Luis? Luis, do you enjoy meeting new people?
Yes, I like to meet new people because I know new things of the
Exactly.
person.
We can meet and know different things about the person. What about number two? Let's see, what do you think? Do you usually decide what you think of someone from the first impression, or do you get to know them first? What do you think about this one, please? Can you help me with the answer, Brian? Number
Yes. First, I prefer know them well because I don't like to judge people.
perfect. You don't want to or you don't like to judge people just for the first impression. That's a good answer. Thank you, Brian. Christian, can you help me with your answer of number two?
Good morning, teacher. I am to know to the people first.
Okay, you get to know to the people first. Okay, thank you. Anita, what about you?
I prefer to meet people first because the appearance can be the saving, and I like that people are sincere with me from the beginning.
Yes, people should be or should tell us the truth since the very beginning. Thank you. That's a good answer. Gabby, what can you tell me about number two? Do you usually decide what you think of someone from the first impression?
I prefer to meet the person first because the first impression not always correct.
Yes. The first impression not always is the best, guys. Not always. Sometimes we're not in the mood and some things can happen. Nevertheless, there are some people who decide that they don't like someone just for the first impression. You know, um, especially women, I think, are the ones who decide they like or don't like from the first impression. Generalmente somos las mujeres las que vemos a alguien y decimos, uy, no, 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 no le puedo ni ver, ¿no es cierto? Solo con ver a otra persona. Pero hay muchas personas que no se dejan llevar por la primera impresión y prefieren conocer a las personas un poco más. So that's the second part. Get to know well someone first. Um, So you have an idea of what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about meeting new people. And for meeting new people, it's important that you know that when you are meeting someone, sometimes you're going to give your opinion about that person. And we need or we have some specific phrases we can use when we are giving our opinions. So, what do you use or what phrases do you use when you want to introduce your opinion, when you want to say what you think? What do you use? What phrases do you use? ¿Qué frases usan ustedes para decir lo que ustedes piensan? Think about those phrases.
I think,
I believe.
my opinion.
Perfect. I think, I believe, in my opinion. Very good. Those are very good introductory phrases we can use when we are giving our opinion. Don't forget that we have a bunch of phrases that we can use. Here we have some of them. Look at this. We have in my opinion, in my view, some others that we haven't maybe heard before, but here we have some. So I'm going to ask some of you to help me reading these phrases so we get used to the sound of these phrases. Okay, please help me reading these two phrases. Erika, can you help me reading these two ones, please?
In my experience, as far as I am concerned.
Exactly. In my experience and as far as I'm concerned. Sí, en mi experiencia, cuando nosotros queremos dar nuestra opinión desde nuestra experiencia, podemos utilizar, miren, in my experience, or you can use also as far as I'm concerned. Desde hasta donde tengo entendido, podría ser este, as far as I'm concerned. ¿Sí? Hasta donde tengo entendido, yo creo que ¿no es cierto? So, let's move to the next two. Please help me reading these two ones, please, Miguel.
Speaking for myself y personality, I think.
Exactly. Speaking for myself and personally, I think. Hablando por mí mismo, ¿no es cierto? Hablando desde mi punto de vista, sería la primera y la segunda, personalmente yo pienso que. I think. Let's move to the next two. Angie, can you help me reading these two, please?
Personally, I believe, I tend to think that.
In the first one we have, personally I believe or I feel, personalmente yo creo o yo siento que. Y la segunda, I tend to think that. Si yo tiendo o yo soy propenso a pensar que. Si yo tiendo a pensar que. Let's see, let's move to the next one. Can you help me with this one, Jennifer, please?
I'm sure, certainly, convinced that.
Exactly. I'm sure, I'm certain, or I'm convinced that. Estoy seguro, estoy convencido que. Y decimos lo que pensamos, ¿no es cierto? I'm sure that. Let's continue with the next two. Can you please help me with these two, Sammy?
Yes, teacher, I am not sure, certain, but as far as I know.
In the first sentence or in the first phrase we have I'm not sure or I'm not certain but. Sí, generalmente esta la podemos utilizar para responder a una opinión cuando ustedes no están tan de acuerdo con alguien. ¿Sí? You partly disagree. I'm not sure or I'm not certain but. No estoy seguro, pero, ¿no es cierto? Pero ya vamos a decir lo que pensamos. Y la segunda frase tenemos as far as I know, hasta donde yo sé. ¿Sí? Esa es otra forma de decir lo que pensamos. Hasta donde yo sé, bla, bla, bla. And let's see the last two phrases here. Please, Kathy, can you help me reading these two, please?
Okay. As far as I understand,
Mm-hmm.
can see, I feel.
Yes. As far as I understand or I can see. Hasta donde entiendo o hasta donde puedo ver o puedo saber, ¿no es cierto? As far as I understand. Y la segunda frase, I feel. Yo siento que. These phrases help us a lot in order to introduce what we think. Help me reading, please, guys. This. We're going to move to these three. Nikki, can you help me reading, please? Nikki, are you there? Can you help me reading?
Yes, teacher. As I see it, I decide that, I suggest that.
Exactly. As I see it, sí, como yo lo veo. Y la segunda tenemos I'd say that, yo diría que, and I suggest that, yo sugeriría que. Recuerden que este apóstrofe y la D en este caso nos sirven como la contracción del modal verb would. So I would say or I would suggest that. En este caso tenemos con la contracción. Let's move to the next three. Help me reading these three, please. Saulo, can you help me with these three ones, please?
I'd like to point out that I believe that what it means.
I'd like to point out that, sí, me gustaría señalar que, o me gustaría resaltar que, I believe that, yo creo que fue una de las primeras oraciones que me dieron, and what I mean is, lo que quiero decir es, o me refiero a, let's move to the next three. Help me reading this one, please. Priscilla, can you help me reading them?
As for me, I think, and you ask my opinion, it seems to me.
Exactly. As for me, I think, de mi parte, yo creo que, if you ask my opinion, this one is a good one. Si esta es una muy buena frase. Si me preguntan mi opinión, y pues podemos añadir lo que pensamos. And it seems to me, me parece que, that's a good one too. Here we have another three phrases. Bibi, can you help me reading these three, please?
From my point of view, I made the wrong boot, if I am not mistaken.
Exactly. So, the first one, from my point of view, desde mi punto de vista, también es una muy buena frase que podemos ocupar para decir lo que pensamos. Then we have, I might be wrong, but es posible, es probable que esté equivocada, pero, ¿sí? I might be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, si no me equivoco, ¿sí? If I'm not mistaken. And we have the last two phrases here. Please, Michelle, can you help me reading the last two, please? Michelle, your microphone.
Yes, teacher. Está un poco trabada mi computador. I am of mixed opinions about this. I have no opinions in this model.
Exactly. I'm of mixed opinions about on this. And I have no opinion in this matter. And the first one we have, I'm of mixed opinions. Tengo una mezcla de opiniones. Y podemos introducir sobre qué opiniones utilizando about. About o podemos utilizar on this. Si tengo una mezcla de opiniones en esto, en específico, ¿no es cierto? En esto, o acerca de. Y la última, pues, no tengo opinión sobre este tema. I have no opinion in this matter. ¿Sí? Cuando queremos evitar dar nuestra opinión. So probably you're going to use you're going to use a lot these expressions later on, and I will share with you. So here in the next page, you're going to see some of the same expressions, but we're going to have divided with some agree expressions and some disagree expressions. For example, look at this. You already saw these phrases like giving your opinion, like I think, in my opinion, from my point of view, okay, I feel. Remember that you can use some adverbs before the verb. Antes del verbo, para darle un poco más de fuerza, un poco más de intensidad a nuestra opinión, podemos añadir palabras como, por ejemplo, strongly, honestly, or really. ¿Sí? Nos dan un poco más de fuerza. Es como decir, no es lo mismo decir yo creo que decir yo verdaderamente creo que, ¿sí? I strongly believe that, or I honestly think, honestamente yo pienso que, estamos dándole un poco más de fuerza a nuestra opinión. I honestly think. So when you agree with someone else's opinion, you can use phrases like this. ¿Sí? Cuando ustedes están de acuerdo con alguien o con la opinión de esa otra persona, podremos responder a esas opiniones diciendo I agree or I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree more. No podría estar más de acuerdo. I would go along with that. I feel the same. You're absolutely right. You can use absolutely, definitely, or exactly. También. No doubt about it. No tengo ninguna duda sobre lo que estás diciendo. And that's a good point. I see your point. ¿Sí? Esa es una buena opinión. O veo tu opinión, veo tu punto de vista, ¿no es cierto? I see where you're coming from. Todas estas frases significan que estamos de acuerdo con lo que la otra persona opina. And we have also some disagreeing phrases, algunas frases que nos permiten no estar de acuerdo, ¿sí? For example, I'm afraid I disagree. Y me temo que yo no pienso lo mismo, yo no estoy de acuerdo. I disagree. Esto es muy, muy, muy importante cuando ustedes estén dando sus frases de agreement or disagreement. Escucho mucho en algunos casos que los tienden a utilizar I am agree or I'm not agree. Okay. Be very, very careful with this, guys. When you are using the verb agree or disagree, you are not going to use the verb to to be, okay? So verb to be is not allowed when you are using this verb. Prohibido el uso del verbo to be con el verbo agree, estar de acuerdo, ¿sí? Cuando ustedes quieren decir, por ejemplo, yo no estoy de acuerdo, miren que nosotros nos valemos del auxiliar. I don't agree. I don't agree. Pero no van a utilizar I am not. Okay? So forget about the verb to be when you're using this agree or disagree verb. ¿Sí? Y únicamente nos quedaría I agree or I don't agree. Or so here we have some other phrases that I was telling you before. I'm afraid I disagree. I don't agree with you. No estoy o yo no estoy de acuerdo contigo en que I'd be inclined to disagree. Si yo esta vez me inclino por no estar de acuerdo en realidad. So, to disagree. That's not the way I see it. This phrase is very, very interesting. ¿Sí? No es, yo no lo veo de esa forma. Estamos diciendo eso utilizando esta frase. That's not the way I see it. Sí, yo no lo veo de esa forma. I don't think so or I don't feel the same. No pienso eso y o no siento lo mismo. I don't feel the same. And sometimes we obviously are going to be just partially agree. Not everything is black and white. We can be in the middle and we can accept some things and we can disagree in some others. So when you are partially agree, you can use these phrases. I see your point, but ¿sí? Veo tu punto de vista, pero tal vez vamos a opinar algo diferente. I kind of agree with you that. Yo un poco estoy de acuerdo contigo en este aspecto, ¿sí? I kind of agree. I agree with you on an extent or however, ¿no es cierto? Estoy de acuerdo contigo en esto, pero, however, and you make a good point, but. Estás dando un buen punto de vista, pero, y empezamos nosotros a introducir lo que pensamos. Este pero siempre nos permite contrastar, ¿sí? Cuando ustedes vean por ahí un but, significa que van a decir algo más, algo diferente a lo que ya se ha mencionado, ¿sí? Generalmente es para ideas contrastantes. Asking opinions. Well, this is not like the main point of this class, but it's good that you know how to ask for opinions. So here we have just a little bit of just a few expressions in order to ask for someone's opinions. For example, do you know what I mean? ¿Te das o entiendes lo que quiero decir? Do you know what I mean? Do you agree with me? ¿Estás de acuerdo conmigo? Do you think that? ¿Crees que? Y empezamos a introducir pues el tema. So these are some of the phrases we can use in order to give opinions or maybe to respond to opinions. So now we're going to make a small exercise and I'm going to ask you to help me with this. Just let me erase all these lines and words and stuff. And okay, here we are. So you're going to listen, guys, to a conversation. And you're going to help me completing this first phrases. We have 4 phrases in here. Please, let me share with you the sound of the computer so you can listen to the record, okay? Ready? Let's go.
Track 1.16. 1.
Well, in my opinion, roses are always a good option.
So what's the answer for the first one?
Opinion.
Opinion.
Opinion era la missing word aquí, right? Well, in my opinion, roses are always a good option. Very good. Let's move to number 2. Let me see. Number 2.
2. I guess something like tulips might be better.
So what's the missing word here?
Guess.
Yes.
Perfect, I guess. So, I guess, yo creo que, I guess, something like tulips might be better. Yo creo que algo como los tulipanes podría ser mejor. So, I guess that. Let's move to number 3. Pay attention, guys.
3. I think it's going to be impossible with another florist's in the same street.
I think.
I think.
Exactly. I think it's going to be. Yes. I think it's going to be almost impossible. Yes. Let's listen to the last one. Please pay attention and help me with the answer.
4. Well, if you ask me, it's not worth worrying about until we know for sure.
Ask.
Perfect. Well, if you ask me, bueno, si me preguntas, debo decir que, well, if you ask me, that's not worrying. Okay, guys. So now, can you help me unscrambling these sentences? How would be the phrases in the right order? For example, the first one, what would it be the right phrase? ¿Cómo nos quedaría la número 1 ya ordenada? Annabelle, can you help me with number 1, please?
Yeah, teacher. It seems to me that.
Perfect. It seems to me that. Me parece que. Sí, me parece a mí que. And let's move to number 2. How would it be number 2? Juliet, can you help me with number 2, please? Wake up, Juliet. Number 2.
As far as I am concerned,
As far as I'm concerned. Thank you, guys. So here we have some phrases in order to give a more formal opinion. When you are with someone, maybe you need to talk in a formal way. For example, parents, bosses, or maybe teachers, you can use these phrases. It seems to me that, or as far as I'm concerned. These phrases are more formal. Sí, ya son frases un poco más formales. No es lo mismo decir en mi opinión, sí, yo pienso que, yo creo que, me parece que, o yo siento que ya utilizar frases un poquito más elevadas, más estructuradas, que son o tienen ya un tinte más formal, como it seems to me that, or as far as I'm concerned. So, guys, can you help me with this third exercise? Here we have five phrases that we can use in order to agree or disagree with an opinion. Help me guessing, help me identifying if they are agree or disagree phrases. For example, number 1. I know what you mean, but what do you think? Is for agree or to disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree, that's right. Ahí tenemos un pero, ¿no es cierto? Eso nos va a permitir a nosotros estar en desacuerdo. Disagree. Yes. What about number 2? I know exactly what you mean. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree. Agree.
Agree. Perfect. Yes. To agree. I'm not sure about that. What do you think? Agree or disagree?
Agree. Disagree.
Disagree.
Disagree. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Is to disagree. That's right. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree.
Agree, definitely. Yes, that's right. So number 5, where I see where you're coming from, but
Disagree. Agree.
Disagree.
Disagree.
disagree, guys, disagree, disagree. Veo cuál es tu punto de vista, pero, sí, entonces vamos a introducir algo diferente. So, it would be a disagreement phrase. Now, pay attention to the next one because it's going to help. It's going to help you to also answer to some opinions. Tenemos otra forma también de responder a ciertas opiniones. Look at this. Just give me a second. I need to erase everything. Okay. So, look at this. From the very beginning, when you started learning English, you used this phrase, me too, when you were answering to a basic question. For example, how are you today? ¿No es cierto? Cuando nosotros empezamos a hablar inglés, por ejemplo, una de las primeras preguntas que les hacen es, how are you today? ¿Cómo están el día de hoy? La respuesta, fine, thank you. And you, ¿sí? Muy bien. ¿Y usted? ¿Cierto? Cuando estamos preguntando la otra opinión o la opinión de alguien más, ¿sí? Y estamos nosotros de acuerdo, podemos utilizar me too. Me too. Yo también, ¿verdad? Me too. Pero miren, aquí tenemos otra frase. Otra frase, no, ya no el me too, sino tenemos me neither. Esta frase, esta palabrita neither, ustedes la van a escuchar ya sea en la pronunciación americana como me neither o en la británica como me neither. ¿Sí? Si se pronuncia de cualquiera de las dos formas, está correcto. Me neither or me neither. Okay, so what's the meaning of this one? Do you know? What would be the meaning of these phrases? Do you have any idea? What's the meaning of me too? ¿Qué significa este?
Yo también.
Perfect. Yo también, right? What about this me neither?
Yo tampoco.
Yo tampoco.
Tampoco, exacto. Yo tampoco. That's the meaning of this me neither. So it's time for us to just choose the correct option, ¿ok? Vamos a elegir la opción correcta. Tenemos dos situaciones and I'm going to help ask you to help me with this one. Okay, Michael is going to play or it's going to read Mark part, okay? Michael va a leer los de Mark. Y Rachel, it's going to be Jocelyn, okay? So Josie is going to read Rachel's part. So are you ready, guys? Michael and Josie?
Yes, teacher. The bookshop on the bookshop on the corner. I didn't know they didn't sold it.
It's neither.
Me neither, exactly.
Hey, don't worry about it. Let's just forget about work. Personality. I need a relaxing evening.
To me? Me too, perdón.
Me too, exactly. Thank you, Josie. Me too. So, to see where, when, or when we're going to use these both phrases, it's important that we read the next chart. Look at this. Help me reading this chart, this red chart, please. Luis, can you help me reading this one?
All, teacher? Oh, this one.
Yes. The three phrases we have there.
Okay, teacher. We use me too and me neither to say we agree or are in the same situation. 2. We use me too after a positive sentences. 3. We use me neither after a negative sentences.
Perfect. Thank you, Luis. So, it's now I think it's clear when you're going to use these two sentences, okay? When you share the same opinion or the same situation and this situation is positive, you're going to use me too in order to respond to that opinion. But when you agree in a negative situation with someone else, you're going to use this me neither. ¿Sí? Siempre que estemos en la misma situación positiva, por ejemplo, yo les decía cuando preguntamos, ¿cómo están? Estoy bien. ¿Y tú? Yo también estoy bien. ¿Sí? Es una situación afirmativa, positiva. Entonces respondemos me too si estamos de acuerdo o nos encontramos en la misma situación. Pero, ¿qué pasa si nosotros estamos hablando de situaciones negativas? ¿Sí? Y compartimos esa misma situación negativa, pues vamos a utilizar el me neither, yo tampoco. Sí, por ahí les digo, for example, I didn't know how to say. What to say. I didn't know what to say. Yo no sabía qué decir. Y ustedes me dicen, yo tampoco sabía qué decir, ¿no es cierto? Estamos compartiendo esta situación negativa. Me neither. Let's see if you got the point. We're going to complete these 6 sentences. Please, can you help me with number 1, Cinderly? What would you use, me neither or me too? I need a nice cup of tea.
Me too.
Me too. Perfect. Necesito una taza de té. Yo también, ¿cierto? Me too. Number 2. Can you help me, Steffi, please, with number 2? I don't really like watching football. Steffi, can you help me with number 2, please?
Me neither.
Exactly, me neither. Thank you. Steve, help me with number 3, please. I wasn't invited to the wedding. Steve, wake up, come on.
Me neither.
Me neither, perfect. Number 4, I'm looking forward to the party. Tania.
Me too.
Me too, perfect. A la fiesta, ¿no es cierto? Me too. Number five, I don't really eat chocolate. Annabelle.
Me neither.
Neither, perfect. Me neither. And then we have, I hate going out in the rain. What would you choose in this one? Saulo, I hate going out in the rain.
Me too.
Me too. Perfect. Odio salir a la lluvia. Yo también odio salir a la lluvia. Yes, I hate going out in the rain. Me too. Perfect, guys. Thank you. Up to this point, is it clear the difference between me too and me neither? Or do you have some questions about it? ¿Preguntas o dudas sobre el uso del me too o me neither? No questions? Yes? No?
No, teacher.
Thank you. So now we're going to look at this picture, guys. Look at the picture and tell me, what do you think the customer is going to buy? What do you think the customer or the client is going to buy? What do you think? Nikki, what do you think the lady is going to buy?
Buy flowers.
Flowers, okay. Maybe she's going to buy flowers. What do you think, Jimmy? Do you agree or disagree with Nikki?
I agree.
You agree. So yes, probably the lady is going to buy some flowers. Okay, guys. We're going to see a video and you're going to help me answering the next questions. We're going to choose some options, but first we need to see the video. So I'm going to share with you the screen so we can see the video. Let me open the video first and share with you on the screen. So can you see that on your screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, pay attention, guys, because you're going to see a video. Be very, very attentive to the next part. Listen carefully, guys.
Really? Oh no, the bookshop. Well, are you sure? Well, thanks for letting me know. Yes. See you soon, Joe. Bye.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were just looking.
I want something for a friend's wife. I'm going there for dinner.
Okay. What sort of flowers does she like?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't met her yet.
Right. Well, in my opinion, roses are always a good option.
Aren't they a bit romantic?
Yes, I know what you mean. I guess something like tulips might be better.
Oh, yes, they're lovely. How much are they? How much are the tulips?
Oh, they're... Sorry.
It's okay. I'll try somewhere else. Thank you.
Hello? Yes. Yes, it is.
So, guys, you watch the situation. Of course, as you told me, yes, she was looking for some flowers, but now we're going to complete some other questions. Let's see if you paid attention. So for number 1, Becky is buying flowers because, what do you think? She's going to someone's house or she's getting married? What would be the right answer?
Going to someone's house.
Thank you, Nikki. She's going to someone's house. She's going to someone's house. Thank you. For number 2, she doesn't want roses because she doesn't like them or they are too romantic.
They are too romantic.
They are too romantic. Yes, that's right. What about number 3? She likes or she doesn't like the tulips?
She likes.
She likes. Yes, she likes the tulips. And the last one, guys. She will buy flowers in another shop or maybe she's going to come back later.
Buy flowers in another shop.
Yes, she told at the end, I will try somewhere else. So she's going to buy flowers in another shop. Yes, thank you guys. Excellent job. So you actually paid attention. That makes me very, very happy. Let's move to the next. Once again, you're going to see a picture, guys. This time a different one. Tell me and answer me the next question. Look at the picture. Where are these people? Can you tell me where are they? Angie, where are these people? Can you tell me, guys, where are these people? Where are they? Where do you think they are?
The people in the house.
Is in the house? Okay, thank you, Angie. So someone else, what do you think, Brian? Where is these people?
They are in a kitchen.
They seem to be in the kitchen. Perfect. What are they doing, Gabby? What do you think they are doing? Gabby, what do you think they are doing?
I think doing a romantic dinner.
Okay, probably they are going to have a romantic dinner. Anita, what do you think they are going to do?
I think that they doing sitting the table for lunch.
Okay, probably they are going to sit on the table and they are going to have some lunch. Very good. What about you, Miguel? What do you think? What are they doing? Or what's going on in this situation?
They are arguing about the flowers.
Okay, maybe they are arguing about the flowers. Yes, that's a good one. Están discutiendo, ¿no es cierto? Están hablando sobre las flores. George, what do you think is happening here?
Maybe she don't like the flowers.
Okay, probably it could be an option. Maybe she doesn't like the flowers because we can see that she is looking at the flowers, right? So maybe she doesn't like the flowers. Okay. So I've heard a lot of different opinions and we're going to see what is really going on here. We make some guesses and they were very good guesses. So now we're going to see the next part of the video and we will find out if you guess right or not. After that, you will have to help me with some questions. So you're going to answer some questions. And for this part of the video, you need to pay attention, maybe more than before, because you're going to answer questions. Okay, so let me share with you the video. So you can help me with the questions. Pay attention because you will have to answer for these questions. You will have to answer after the video for these questions. What will happen to the bookshop? What problem will this cause to Rachel? What's Mark's advice and what does Rachel say happened at work? Okay, so pay attention to the video because you're going to answer these 4 questions later. Let me share with you the book so you can see the video, and here we go.
Rachel? You okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, love. I'm just a bit worried. Joe phoned today and said that the old bookshop is going to be turned into another florist's.
The bookshop on the corner? I didn't know they'd sold it.
Me neither. But what am I going to do? It's hard enough already to make money, but I think it's going to be impossible with another florist's in the same street.
Yeah. Was Joe sure about this?
I don't know. She seemed pretty certain.
Well, if you ask me, it's not worth worrying about until we know for sure.
I know. But I can't help it. It's on my mind. I was even rude to a customer today.
Really? That's not like you. What happened?
Well, I wasn't exactly rude, just not very helpful.
Hey, don't worry about it. Let's just forget about work. Personally, I need a relaxing evening.
Me too.
Anyway, Tom and Becky will be here in a minute. I think we should check on the food.
Yes. I don't want anything else to go wrong today. So what's Becky like?
That'll be them now.
Okay, guys, just let's try one more time and then we go to the question. Attention.
Rachel? You okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, love. I'm just a bit worried. Joe phoned today and said that the old bookshop is going to be turned into another florist's.
The bookshop on the corner? I didn't know they'd sold it.
Me neither. But what am I going to do? It's hard enough already to make money, but I think it's going to be impossible with another florist's in the same street.
Yeah. Was Joe sure about this?
I don't know. She seemed pretty certain.
Well, if you ask me, it's not worth worrying about until we know for sure.
I know. But I can't help it. It's on my mind. I was even rude to a customer today.
Really? That's not like you. What happened?
Well, I wasn't exactly rude, just not very helpful.
Hey, don't worry about it. Let's just forget about work. Personally, I need a relaxing evening.
Me too.
Anyway, Tom and Becky will be here in a minute. I think we should check on the food.
Yes. I don't want anything else to go wrong today. So what's Becky like?
That'll be them now.
Okay, guys, let's see. Let's see if you catch all the answers for the questions we have. So what will happen with the bookshop? Did anybody heard what it's going to happen with the bookshop?
Será una floristería.
It's going to be a florist. So They sold it and it's going to be a florist. Yes, that's right. So that would be the answer for the first one. Let me write it over here. They sold it and it's going to be a florist. So what problem is this going to be, or what problem will cause this to Rachel? What do you think? Si la tienda se va a convertir en otra floristería, ¿qué problema le va a traer a Rachel eso? What do you think?
Las ganancias, el dinero.
Yes, that would be a problem. Maybe she is worried because she won't earn the same. Let's put it this way. Won't earn. No va a ganar la misma cantidad de dinero, ¿verdad? What's Mark's advice? What did he say? ¿Cuál fue el consejo de su esposo Mark?
Que no se preocupe y que piense en otro trabajo.
Perfect. Que no se preocupe, ¿ok? Que no piense en el trabajo. Don't worry, le dice, right? Don't worry. Let's forget about job. No olvidémonos del trabajo por esta noche al menos. Don't worry, le dice. What does Rachel say will happen at work? ¿Qué le contó? ¿Qué le dijo que le pasó ese día en el trabajo? Can you remember?
She was rude to a customer.
Exactly. She was rude. She was rude to another customer. Can you remember for the first video? En el primer video vimos que ella fue también un poco rude with a customer, right? Thank you guys. Those are the answers. Perfect. Excellent job. Let's move to the next part and the final part. What do you think is happening in this picture, guys? What's going on in this picture? Can you tell me? What is going on? What happens in this situation? Josie, what do you think is happening here?
They are having an greeting.
Okay, they are greeting or they are having a meeting, right? Good. Fausto, what do you think is happening here?
In my opinion, they received an unexpected visit.
Perfect. Thank you. I really like that you used the phrase in my opinion. Very good. In my opinion, I think they are having an unexpected visit. Una visita inesperada, nos dice Fausto. Michael, what do you think? What's going on here? Wake up, Michael. I can't hear you. Michael a la una, Michael a las dos. Michael el estrés.
Teacher dice que tiene un problema con el internet.
Okay. Erika, can you help me with this one? What's happening here?
The customer offers works help.
Okay, that's a good one, Erika. Erika se dio cuenta que aquí tenemos al customer, right? Here we have to the customer from the first video. So what do you think it's going to happen next? Luis, what do you think will happen next?
They talk of situation in the shop.
Okay, they are going to talk about the situation in the shop. That's a good option. Jennifer, what do you think it's going to happen next? Jennifer Gomez, what do you think it's going to happen next? Jennifer se nos durmió. Cinderly, what do you think it's going to happen next?
Yo pienso que se están conociendo.
Okay, they are getting to know. Could be a good option. They are getting to know. Thank you. And the last one, Bibi, can you help me with the answer of number 2? What is going to happen next?
Teacher, they will have help and they will find a solution.
Okay, they will find a solution. That's a good answer. Let's see. We're going to watch the final part of this situation, the final video, and you're going to help me completing these 3 questions. How would you feel in Becky's situation? How would you feel in Rachel's situation? And have you ever made a bad first impression? Okay, so we're going to answer to these 3 questions after watching the video. Let me share with you the video. Give me a second so you can see the final part of this. Okay, I have. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. And let's see the final part. Pay attention to so you can see it as well. There you go.
Hi, come in. Hello, come on in.
Thank you.
Rachel, this is Tom and Becky.
Hi, Rachel. Good to meet you.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Rachel. I think we've met before.
I'm so sorry about earlier. I had something on my mind.
Don't worry. I was going to bring you some flowers, but couldn't get any.
Thank you.
So guys, can you tell me how would you feel in Becky's situation? How would you feel in the situation of the customer? ¿Cómo se sentirían si fueran Becky, la cliente? How would you feel, Lisette? Can you help me answering number 1, please?
I will feel very sorry.
Okay. How would you feel in Becky's situation, Priscilla?
She's very embarrassed for early situation.
You would feel maybe embarrassed about the earlier situation. Thank you. What about Rachel, the one who was selling the flowers? How would you feel if you were Rachel? Saulo. Number 2, how would you feel in Rachel's situation?
A little embarrassed.
Yes, a little embarrassed. Un poco avergonzados, ¿no es cierto?, por lo que sucedió. What about you, Stefano? Have you ever made a bad first impression?
I think once in my life, but I don't remember.
Once, okay. What happened that you made a bad impression?
To me, the question? Repeat the question, please.
What happened that you made a bad impression?
I don't remember. I only know once, I think, perhaps.
Okay. Yes, sometimes we're not, we don't like to everyone, so that may happen. Let me ask this question to someone. Sammy, can you help me please, Samantha? Have you ever made a bad first impression? Samantha, are you there? Number 3, have you ever made a bad first impression? Okay. Nikki, have you ever made a bad first impression?
I think I have given someday. No sé, yo creo que todos hemos dado una mala impresión.
Nikki no ha tenido problemas teniendo malas impresiones.
Es mi
It's very
especialidad.
sweet. Nikki is very sweet. She's always smiling. So how can a person like this make a bad impression? Jimmy, what about you? Have you ever made a bad first impression?
Yes. When, for example, when I buy something online, doesn't meet expectations. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it happens, you know. We're not every time in the best mood, and maybe we can act a little bit rude, and that could cause a bad first impression, especially when you're meeting to someone. Sí, generalmente cuando ustedes conocen a alguien por primera vez, no siempre están en sus mejores momentos y pueden terminar siendo un poco groseros, ¿no? Lo que genera una mala impresión de la otra persona. Especially when you are meeting these people or person for the first time. ¿Sí? Al menos cuando se conoce por primera vez a alguien, es un poco... si no se tiene una buena primera impresión, pues a veces no. Mucha gente no está dispuesta a dar una segunda oportunidad de conocer a otra persona, ¿verdad? So, here we were talking about some impressions. So, some are good, some were bad. Now, what are we going to do, guys? what are we going to do? We're going to start our speaking practice. Pay attention to the next instructions. You're going to think of an example of. Think about some examples for the following questions. You have 4 questions. The first question says, a good way to meet people. What's a good way to meet new people? ¿Cuál será una buena manera de conocer personas? Vamos pensando en las respuestas. Maybe a good way to meet new people is to go to the gym, maybe, or maybe go to a party. I don't know. It's a good way to meet people. What do you think? What's a good way to meet new people?
By chat.
In the job también. En el trabajo. And we're keep in mind that question, guys. Vayan pensando la respuesta de esta pregunta. Question number 2. What's a good way to make a good impression? What do you think it's a good way to make a good first impression? ¿Cuál será una buena manera de hacer o de dar una buena impresión la primera vez que conocemos a alguien? Maybe a good way could be being polite or to greet when you know someone for the first time, ¿no es cierto? Damos una buena impresión cuando saludamos, cuando somos amables, etcétera, etcétera, ¿no? Serían como que buenos consejos para dar una primera buena impresión. Let's move to question number 3. What's a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well? ¿Cuál será un buen tema de conversación con alguien que ustedes no conocen muy bien? Por ahí digamos que conocen por primera vez a los papás de la novia o que conocen por primera vez al compañero en clases o están sentados en el bus o esperando en una sala de esperas y están con alguien que no conocen. ¿Qué temas o de qué preguntarían, de qué conversarían? What's a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well? Van a ir directo a azotarles con temas como ¿de qué equipo de fútbol son fans? ¿Qué opina al respecto de la política? ¿Qué opina sobre esto? ¿Qué tipo de temas son buenos para tratar la primera vez con alguien que no conocen tan bien? ¿Sí? Think about that. Think about the topics. And what is a good reason to dislike someone you have just met? ¿Cuál creen ustedes que puede ser una razón para que no les caiga bien a alguien por primera vez? Alguien que acaban de conocer por primera vez. Okay, guys, think about the answers. You're going to have 3 minutes to think about the answers all by yourselves, alone this time. Think about the answers, okay? Christian, what do we have to do now? ¿Qué tenemos que hacer ahorita?
Answer the questions. Of what is a good way to meet new people? Esas preguntas tenemos que responder.
Sure, thank you. Michelle, are we going to work alone or in groups? Alone. This activity is individual. Individual. How much time do you have for this activity, Luis?
Five minutes, teacher.
4 minutes you're going to have. 4 minutes to complete this activity, okay? So do it in a piece of paper. You can write your answers. Pueden escribir sus preguntas en un papelito, en un cuaderno. Okay, 4 minutes to complete this one, guys. Okay. Enter to your groups.
¿Qué debemos hacer? Compañeros.
Wake up. Pregunten y respondan.
¿Ya? ¿Quién empieza? ¿Tú y yo?
No. ¿Tienes de pronto la captura de las preguntas? Es que ellos hablan.
En el grupo de WhatsApp están todas.
When you are at home, not a party.
Yo también puse eso.
Maybe the best way to meet people is in university.
Yeah. In my opinion, to meet new people in the park. Yeah.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Ahí sí ven.
Sí.
Ya. Empiezo yo ya.
Ya, sí.
Y le pregunto a Anita. Ya. A good way to meet new people.
I think that a good way to meet people is through social networks in this time of pandemic, because we can talk in writing or by video call.
Gabriela.
In my opinion, one way to make a good impression is to be calm and friendly. And you, Samantha?
Making a good impression can be multiple conversation starters.
Is to say hello and be polite in the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Brian, what is good topic of conversation with some?
Personally, I think May is a funny one, a good first impression.
Okay. In my opinion, when we are nice with other people in all time.
Or things about the interest of each person. You, Jimmy?
I'm not sure, but a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well. Okay, one moment. Well, could be from experience that are lived on a daily basis. Okay, the
topic of conversation with someone you don't know well, Tanya?
A good topic of conversion would be to ask about the music, the music no more.
And you, Lisette?
I could ask him how he is, what he does, and what he likes to do in his spare time. And you,
How are you doing, guys? Did you end?
Yes, teacher.
Conversation. Who's going to start? Michael, Christian?
Cristian creo que tenía las preguntas.
A ver, yo te pregunto. Yeah, what is a good way to meet new people? Jocelyn.
Yeah. I consider that in CrossFit workout.
And what is a good way to make a good first impression, Christian?
El micrófono. Yes,
what's a good way to meet new people?
I think when you are at home and not at our party.
Okay. Steve, can you ask the next question?
A good way to make a good first impression.
I think being respectful and making people laugh.
Making people laugh, that's a good one. Haciendo sonreír a la gente. Muy bien. Miguel, can you ask another question to Sarah, please?
What's a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well?
In my opinion, I usually talk about movies or video games, things that I like.
Saulo, what do you think is a good topic? Microphone, Saulo.
In my opinion, maybe a good topic of conversation is it about what happens at the moment.
Okay, what's happening at the moment? Thank you. And the final question, Miguel, can you ask to your classmates, please?
What's a good reason to dislike someone you've just met?
Maybe I don't like when they speak ill of another person.
What about you, Saulo?
In my opinion, maybe one of the reasons why I don't like a person is their attitude.
Their attitude. Muy bien. Thank you. So let's listen to the next group. The next group who's going to help me is Anita, Melanie, and Cinderly. Ladies, please help me with this one. Anita, Melanie, and Cinderly. Ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
What's a good way to meet new people? Melanie?
The microphone, Melanie.
Okay. I think a good way to meet people is to go out with friends to eat or have fun for a while or practice a sport or through social networks.
Through social networks. Perfect.
Okay. What's a good way to make a good first impression, Cinderly?
In my opinion, is being attentive and friendly.
Number 3. Cinderly, can you ask to Anita number 3, please?
Yes. What's a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well?
I think a good topic of conversation can be how are you, what your job is, or the taste and preference of the other person. And you, Melanie?
Okay, I think a good topic is to talk about your studies, what you have done in the last weekend.
Perfect. And the last question.
Yeah. What's a good reason to dislike someone you just meet, Anita?
One reason may be that the person is rude or her face doesn't express something good. I call it poker face or without expression. And you, Cinderly?
I think when a person is rude or disrespectful.
What happened with the camera, Cinderly? You're upside down.
No sé, teacher, el otro día le prendí, pero no sé cómo darle la vuelta.
Ok, Cinderly está del otro lado. Va a dar la vuelta. Todo al revés. Okay, thank you, ladies. I enjoyed a lot your participation. You made some good answers, and I like the one where Anita was saying, I don't trust in poker face people. That's right. Sometimes you see that there are a lot of people who you can't guess what are they thinking or what are they truly, hay personas que no tienen o no muestran expresión en su rostro, ¿no? Es como que todo el tiempo tienen la misma cara y uno no puede adivinar si están felices, están tristes, están con cara de asesinos seriales, etcétera, etcétera. No sabemos por qué tienen poker face. Esa es la expresión adecuada, to be a poker face, ¿no es cierto? Tener una cara sin expresión, a poker face. Let's continue with the next group. Now we're going to listen to, let me see, we're going to listen to George, Jimmy, and Stefano. Now it's time for guys to share the conversation.
Okay, teacher. The first question, what's a good way to meet new people, Stefano?
The microphone.
Sorry. Okay. Personally speaking, I believe that the best way to meeting new people is playing games like football, basketball, video games, going to the gym, or in a party, drinking.
In my opinion, is through friends. They could introduce to other people, or in place where people do the same activities.
To my mind, a good way to meet new people is traveling to new place or organizing a party and inviting friends or parents. Okay, the second question. What's a good way to make a good first impression, Stefano?
From my point of view, I think it depends because it's individual. A lot of people don't care what other people thinks about himself.
In my opinion, a good way is maybe being friendly with the other people. You, Jim?
I think a good way to make a good first impression is talk about interesting things in life or stories. The third question, what a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well, Stefano?
To my mind, I'm a little direct, and I will ask him anything like if he believe in God and why, or something else.
Jorge.
Probably the current situation in the world or things about the interest of each person. You, Jimmy?
I'm not sure, but a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know where could be casual questions. For example, what sport do you like? Where do you live? What do you like to do in your free time? Yes. And the question, what's a good reason to dislike someone you just met, Stefano?
Maybe if the person is very arrogant.
Jorge?
Okay, probably if that person is not very friendly, it not make a good impression to me. And you?
I think that a good reason to dislike someone you just met is their attitude or their character. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, guys. Good job. Interesting answers and use of the phrases we have already talked about. Thank you. Now we're going to listen to Juliet, Lisette, and Tanya. Can you ladies help me with your answers, please? Juliet, Lisette, and Tanya. There you are. Okay. Ready?
Tú estabas preguntando.
What a good way to meet new people, Lisette?
I believe that those social networks at a party and some other friends. And Tanya?
The microphone, Tanya.
Yeah, sorry. On way to meet new people is in meeting with other friends and social networks.
Yep. What a good way to make a good first impression, Tanya?
One way to make a good impression is to be nice to people.
You, Lisette?
I believe that we must be kind and be ourselves without showing another face. We must show the education that they teach us at home. And Juliet?
In my opinion, be punctual when arriving somewhere. What's a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well, Lisette?
In my opinion, I would ask you how you are, what do you and what you like doing your free time. And Tanya?
A good topic of conversion goal to be as about the music, movies, and studies.
In my experience, I could talk about studies, pets, environment pollution. What's a good reason to dislike someone you just meet?
I think when the person is rude and has no education with other people. And Juliet?
It's like that for his very egocentric attitude.
Thank you, ladies. So I heard that some good topics when you don't know the other person could be about pollution, could be about things they like. Excellent. Now we're going to listen to Brian, Joanna, and Kathy. Please help me with this one. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, Katia. Thank you, Brian. Ready?
Okay. Brian, what is good a way to meet new people?
In my opinion, the good way to know new people is in a party or at university. What about you?
In my opinion, I've been going to meeting parties with friends. Joanna?
Okay, in my opinion, the best way to meet people is a new class.
Okay. Brian, what is a good way to make a good first impression?
I think the most important is who you are. What about you?
Speaking for myself, I think a good impression it is to say hello, hello and be polite in conversation. Joanna?
Okay, I think that being friendly and help other people can make a good impression.
Brian, what is a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well?
In my experience, I think the good conversation is about hobbies or music. And you?
In my opinion, you should first note his name, where he's from, what is your favorite singer, etc., etc. Joanna?
Okay, personally, I think it depends of the situation and the people you are going to meet. However, I will talk about hobbies, movies, and my life.
Okay. Brian, what is a good reason to dislike someone you have just met?
I think if you are not honest with your answers.
Yeah. Joanna?
I think if the person is rude and unfriendly.
Yeah. Personal, I think there are very unpleased people and they don't respond well to the conversation.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your answers. Yes, I have heard that in some of your conversations, you think that a good way to meet new people is through parties, of course, because you're very young and you used to go to the parties a lot. Also through friends, that's a good option too. When some friends introduce you the his or their friends. Some other ways could be going to the gym. I heard going to the park. Yes, all of them are very useful ways in order to meet new people. Now we're going to listen to Fausto, Michelle, and Priscilla. Your group, guys. There you are. Okay. Ready?
Yes. What's a good way to meet new people, Michelle?
sport groups and take education courses. And you?
I really feel that a good way I meet new people is when we are playing same game, video game online.
And you, please?
In my view, a good way to meet new people at a camp, on holiday course, at a meetup or party.
What is a good way to make a good first impression, Fausto?
In my view, uh, uh, no, excuse me. Okay. A good form is arrived on a time at the first interview.
And you, please?
Personality, I think a good way to make a good first impression is to be cordial, friendly, ready, helping if needed. And you?
My opinion, be educated, sociable, and positive people.
What's a good topic of conversation with someone you don't know well? Fausto?
Personally, I think that an excellent topic is talk about the winter.
Um, in my opinion, as about childhood anecdotes, as about the likes of literature, games, sport.
Well, in my opinion, talk about the current situation or something they are doing.
What is a good reason to dislike someone you have just met? Fausto?
In my experience, when you have a bad memory of a similar situation.
And you, please?
To my mind, if some has a bad attitude.
Okay, and my experience, people with a little tolerance or
Impulsive.
impulsive.
Okay, thank you guys. Good answers, thank you. Yes, sometimes people is not so nice. They are not polite, so that can cause you a bad impression at the beginning. Thank you. I heard that some of the topics you will use in order to make a conversation to someone for the first time would be talk about the weather, talk about what they do, maybe sports, or talk about any activity, or talk about movies. That's right. Those are some of the topics we can use in order to talk with someone for the first time. ¿No les ha pasado a ustedes que, por ejemplo, están conversando y ya no saben de qué conversar y dicen, pero amanecido soleado no, o va a llover? Entonces ustedes están dando o opinando sobre el clima como para continuar con la conversación, right? So, you did an excellent job with these conversations. In this, for this part of the lesson, we have already covered lesson 1C, where we had to learn a few expressions in order to express your opinion. Before we move to the break, I'm going to ask you, some of the phrases you can remember about giving opinions. Let me see. Viviana, can you tell me a phrase you can use in order to give your opinion? Any phrase.
Disculpe, teacher. Se le recorta las palabras, por eso no la entendí bonito.
You need to tell me one phrase to give your opinion. Una frase en la que ustedes estén dando su opinión. ¿Qué frase pueden ocupar de las que vimos?
Personally.
Ya.
Vivi?
Yo tenía como from my point of view.
Exactly, thank you. From my point of view, Nikki nos dijo, personally, I think, muy bien. Let's see. Juliet, can you tell me another phrase, please?
It's like that.
Mm-hmm.